Good morning. How is your morning so far? I hope fabulous. Welcome to KTN News Center. I am Ashley Mazuri. Let's get started. Property of an unknown value has been destroyed by an early morning fire at the famous Gikomba market in Nairobi. Emergency teams are at the moment battling to put out the fire that broke out early morning. Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko will this morning be appearing before the Senate Committee on Devolution to be grilled on a wide range of issues. They include the validity of the composition of his county government that currently lacks deputy governor, the Institute of Surveyors of Kenya is set to visit Kisumu this morning with the mission of creating awareness on land matters. The surveyors will specifically be enlightening the public on recent land laws. Once again, thank you very much for joining us here on KTN News Center. Now, police in Eldoret are holding a suspect in connection to the murder of a sixth-year Moi University student, which took place outside the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret. The suspect, identified as Peter Njahi Kinuthia, was rescued by police after angry residents descended on him when he hacked the medical student to death. KTN's Elvis Koskei begins our broadcast.
Witnesses say the late Ivy Wangeshi, in her mid-20s, had concluded doing ward rounds at the second national referral hospital in the country at around 10 a.m. in the morning and was walking outside the institution with her friends when an unknown assailant confronted her. It is believed that the middle-aged man slashed her neck with a knife, attracting attention from the nearby motorbike operators who attempted to intervene but faced resistance from the assailant.
Lakini jambo hili limefanyika kwa kiwango ambaye haikufanyika ndani ya hospitali, nje, na mtu ambaye akili zake ni timamu, mavazi yake ni nadhifu. Sasa ni jambo la kusikitisha kitendo ambacho kimefanyika, kwa sababu ingekuwa vigumu mtu kujua nia, kwa sababu si mlevi.
Sasa vile nimefika hapa karibu na gate ya referral, niko na jamaa fulani alikuwa smartly dressed. Sasa akakuja, kuna mrembo alitokea hivi pia, akamkuta na alikuwa na kisu, akamkata hapa. Sasa watu wenye walikuwa karibu kwa hiyo kitendo wakaanza kupiga nduru wakikaribia huyo jamaa. Kidogo venye anamfikia hivi, jamaa akatoa shoka akawatishia hivi. Watu wote wenye walikuwa karibu waka fall back.
Irate students barricaded the busy road towards MTRH while holding a silent march as a sign of respect to the departed comrade before proceeding to the Eldoret Central Police Station to demand for answers. Moi University Vice-Chancellor Professor Isaac Kosgei condoled with the students while asking them to be calm as police continue the investigations.
So we are asking that we must have security improved, and this place must be safe. It must be secure for the sake of our comrades. We don't want to get into another situation whereby thugs again have done the same thing, because if something can be done during the day at such a place, what about the people who stay in Langas and all the other places?
It's actually unfortunate to talk about mourning one of us. It is something I never expected or hoped would be happening during my time in this school. Ivy is doing a 6-year course and she's in her 7th year in school. And now she has been denied that chance to graduate.
We are very keen we are working closely with the security forces, with the county's team, and we request you to remain calm. We mourn our colleague. I've talked to your Dean of Students, also Dean Lukoya, and we've agreed we update as we get more information, in particular who the assailant is. We've contacted the family of the departed. The mother is in Muranga and the father is in Mombasa.
According to the suspect's mother, Peter Njahi Kinuthia was in a relationship with Ivy Wangeshi, but they had separated some times back.
Najua relationship ni ya kitambo, hata kabla hajapata kazi, hata kabla hajaingia shule. Kama ni huyo,
yes.
Anaitwa nani?
Anaitwa Ivy Wangeshi.
Ati?
Ivy Wangeshi.
Ati Ivy?
Wangeshi. Mweupe, yes. Last 1 week kama 2 weeks. Alikuwa ni kama mtu anasumbuliwa na kitu. Ama alikuwa kawaida tu?
Alikuwa tu kawaida. Ninakwambia ni kama wiki 2 zimeisha tulikuwa na yeye. Na hakuwa na chochote, hata hakutaja, hata hakuwa na hiyo mambo.
Na alikwambia alikuwa anataka amwache ama alikuwa ameachana?
Ni kama walikuwa wameachana, sasa kurudiana sijui.
Anakuwa na hasira ama?
Hapana, hakuwagi mimi hata atusumbuanagi na yeye, hatujaisumbuana.
Hujaisumbuana na yeye?
Na hatujawahi
hajadhuru mtu.
Hapana, hajawahi hata wezi, hata hajawahi, hata hiyo ninashindwa ni nini. Hiyo imenishinda. Hiyo hata baba yake nimemwambia akasema hapana, ni uongo, jamii haisifanye hivyo. Hajawahi.
Mlikuwa mnamtanga Njahi?
It is alleged that the suspect works at one of the betting companies. This is the second killing this year of a female student at Moi University in a case of love gone sour. Elvis Kosgei, KTN News, Uasin Gishu County.
Following that story, we're asking you this morning, what is ailing our universities leading to frequent killings there? What is ailing our universities leading to frequent killings? Tweet me directly at Ashley Mazuri or at KTN News KE. The hashtag to use is KTN News Center. We'll be sampling some of your feedback. We will also be having that conversation here in studio. With me, joining me will be Dr. Geoffrey Wangu, who is a psychologist and senior lecturer at the University of Nairobi. We'll also be having Johnston Daniel, who is a former president at Daystar University Students Association, and also Lily Mwangi, who is a vice chair at Kenyatta University Students Association. We'll be having that conversation later on. Our reporters are also on the ground. They will be visiting some of the universities, and we'll be getting a take from the students on what exactly is ailing our universities. Moving on, Opposition Chief Raila Odinga's ODM party has withdrawn from the Wajir West by-election slated for later this month, only a week after a double loss in the just concluded Ugenya and Embakasi South by-elections. The Orange Party claims the move to withdraw from the race is in reciprocation of Jubilee Party's decision not to field candidates during the mini-polls in Embakasi South and Ugenya. But is ODM sincere in this withdrawal, or is the party sensing another defeat in Wajir? KTN political reporter Murimi Mwangi interrogates.
Elect won or lost. So the fact that somebody has lost an election is not a big deal. It's not a big issue.
The bitter pill of defeat which none other than ODM leader Raila Odinga had to swallow on Monday after his party's humiliating double loss in recent by-elections in Ugenya and Embakasi South constituencies. And now, the Orange Party has pulled out of the Wajir West by-election, nearly 2 months after nominating Professor Yusuf Elmi for the mini-poll, slated for the 25th of this month. ODM had settled on Professor Elmi after immediate former Wajir West legislator Ahmed Kolosh defected to the Jubilee Party soon after his election was nullified by the Supreme Court. In the statement signed by ODM Director of Elections Junet Mohammed, the party claims to have pulled out of the mini-poll after consultations with top leadership of the Jubilee Party, during which both parties reportedly agreed to reciprocate Jubilee's earlier decision to withdraw from recent by-elections in Migori, Ugenya and Embakasi South, in all of which ODM fielded candidates. But this move equally raises eyebrows, given that ODM was for the 2 months already actively on the campaign trail in Wajir West, led by none other than ODM leader Raila Odinga. IEBC had already printed ballot papers for the Wajir West mini-poll and also included the ODM candidate. in the days preceding Kolosh defection from ODM to Jubilee. A bitter supremacy battle had been building up between Odinga and Deputy President William Ruto. A dispute which escalated into the Embakasi South and Ugenya by-elections, despite Jubilee having not fielded any candidates in the mini-polls. With Ruto's camp seemingly celebrating ODM's loss in both by-elections.
It's not about celebrating ODM's loss. It's about celebrating sanity in politics.
That reaction is natural because, you know, they will never want us to win, as it were. And when we lose, they would want to associate themselves with that victory.
The Wajir West contest now leaves Kolosh against Kanu's Ibrahim Mahmoud, Abbas Nano of Agano Party, and LPK's Ali Nur Abdi. But with the ODM yet to come to terms with the loss in Embakasi South and Ugenya,
I think
members of the Orange think tank are no doubt headed back to the drawing board, as their candidate now boards the Jubilee bandwagon.
I played monkey business,
where Ruto, a bitter Odinga rival, is spearheading Kolosh campaigns. Murimi Mwangi, KTN News.
Meanwhile, ODM party leader Raila Odinga yesterday held a consultative meeting at his Capitol Hill office with a group of youth led by a section of the Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association. The group is pushing for a framework on including the youth in representative positions in government when they submit their memoranda to the Building Bridges initiative.
One of the things we've discussed is a possibility of a legal framework on the representation of the youths from across all the institutions of the government and the private institutions. We've also been able to discuss the possibility of having the youth function fully devolved to the county governments so that we can be able to closely monitor the youth.
And going forward, this is going to be the national youth outfit that will champion the youth agenda across the country going forward. And BBI, very soon, we are presenting our document that encompasses all the views from the election, from the representation, from the change of constitution, from the devolution, fight against corruption, representation, and what we believe is good for this country going forward. And we are also here to offer our support to the Right Honorable for the work he has done for the rest of his life in this country, and therefore as a youth population that comprises 70% of the country, we are fully behind the handshake and the Building Bridges initiative.
They have come together as a team who are concerned about the development of a country and also are supporting the Building Bridges initiative. We have had a long discussion with them. They have expressed their concerns, articulated issues that affect the youth in our country, like unemployment in our country, lack of proper instructions of our youth, particularly with regard to prepare them for the work after training in our institutions.
Deputy President Dr. William Ruto has emphasized the need for every Kenyan and alien living in the country to register in the ongoing biometric listing, terming it the only way for the government to plan and implement its programs based on accurate data. The DP was speaking at Langata Deputy County Commissioner's office after leading his 4 children to register for the National Integrated Identity Management System, dubbed as Huduma number. KTN's Shadrach Miti reports.
Ongoing mass biometric registration continues to gain traction in the country. Came to the fore at Langata Sub-County headquarters when Deputy President Dr. William Ruto led his 4 children in becoming the latest entrance into the digital one-stop register the government is building. The DP and his family became part of the 3,000 Kenyans who have been registered at this registration center in the past 1 week.
Mimi nimefika hapa na watu ya familia yangu kwa sababu wao ni wana Nairobi. Mimi ndio peke yake, mimi ndio mtu ya ushago. Na mama Recho, sisi ndio tunapiganga kura kule mashambani. lakini hawa wengine wote, my 4 children, they are voters in Lang'ata.
With numbers indicating that Nairobi County has registered slightly over 100,000 people, Deputy President says the program is well on course and that the ultimate goal in all this process is to help the government plan and execute its programs based on accurate data.
Matters to do with NHIF, matters to do with NSSF, matters to do with PIN, matters to do with registration of births and registration of deaths. All these will be consolidated into one unique identifiable number per citizen of the Republic of Kenya.
And having gone through the process of acquiring Huduma number, Dr. Ruto feels there is not any reason as to why other Kenyans may resist an exercise the government appears so keen to successfully implement.
Therefore, wale wanatumia border posts zetu kuja nchi ya Kenya na baadaye kutuumiza, sasa itakuwa ni vigumu kwao, kwa sababu ile makaratasi wanatumia saa hizi itakuwa ni vigumu saa ile kila mtu ako na Huduma namba yake. So we will have a much more secure country.
Meanwhile, in Marsabit County, Cabinet Secretary for Labor and Social Protection Ukur Yatani officially launched Huduma number listing. And despite a few challenges, the exercise went on well, with reports indicating that it is resonating positively with the population.
Ukiwa kama una nafasi hapa, hata unaweza kuenda Nairobi uweze kusajiliwa kwa NIMS. Unaweza kwenda Eldoret ama Kisumu uweze kusajiliwa.
But away from Nairobi and Marsabit, in Baringo County, the exercise posted a different picture altogether. Lack of electricity, poor internet connectivity and poor infrastructure are some of the challenges facing the exercise. Baringo County Commissioner Henry Wafula admitted that there had been challenges in the process, but added that they were being handled.
Watu hawana wakati wa kuja kwa mambo ya NIMS sababu wanajitafutia maji kwa umbali na chakula pia.
Baringo ni county kubwa, 11,800 km square. Kwa hivyo tumekuwa na maeneo, tuko na maeneo kama vile kule Nginyang, kule Koloa, kule Ngoron, Tangulubei, Churo, maeneo ya ndani kabisa ambayo kwa Kiingereza tunaita remote. But changamoto hizi weekend hii nimetembea kwa Ibatek, nimetembea Mogotio na maeneo mengine zinashughulikiwa na afisa wetu wa technology.
The ongoing mass Huduma number registration is scheduled to end mid next month. Shadrack Miti, KTN News.
In a one-of-a-kind move, a court in Nyeri is expected on Wednesday to adopt resolutions made after a successful conclusion of a case through mediation. Two conflicting factions that had deferred over management of a private company for years came to an agreement after only 3 sessions with the mediator. As KTN's Ibrahim Karanja reports, this brings into sharp focus the options for alternative dispute resolutions, especially in efforts to reduce the backlog of cases along the corridors of justice.
This ensued over who should be at the helm of Umoja Service Station, a private company that owns different properties in Nyeri town. At the corridors of justice is where the members sought to find solace. However, the proceedings took years to conclude, consequently having constraints both in terms of time and money.
Jaji akaangalia kaona tunaenda arbitration na tutachukua muda mrefu, kesi itaendelea itachukua muda mrefu. Ni hapo tulitumwa kwa mediation.
Sasa hiyo mediation, hata sisi wakati tulienda mediation tukaona hii ndio njia ile mzuri kabisa ya kutatua ile mambo inatatiza watu katika companies hata kwa serikali.
Yet the toughest challenge facing the warring factions was the fact that the parties were relatives and the scars that would have come out of a grueling legal battle would have taken years to heal.
Na tena members wa company hii wengi wao ni relatives, na wakati kuna makezi kama hii inaleta hatred nyingi sana.
According to Article 159(2) of the Kenyan Constitution, mediation has been recognized as one of the alternative dispute resolution methods that not only reduces time and financial hurdles, but also reduces the backlog of civil cases that have for long dragged in the courts. During the process, the differing factions are given an opportunity to resolve their dispute with the assistance of a third party called a mediator.
Hapo wakati tulikuwa kwa mediation, tulienda kwa mediation mara 3. Kesi ile ingetuchukua karibu miaka 10-15 ndio ilimalizika na visit 3 ya kukaa na chini na mediator.
After a successful mediation process, the parties sign an agreement that is taken before court for adoption by a presiding judge. The contents and means used in mediation remaining private. But according to lawyer Stanley Wabandi, there are instances where a court can reject resolutions.
There are circumstances which can lead to rejection of mediation. For example, if there are issues of fraud, if there are issues of undue influence, if there are issues of force.
The judiciary is implementing court-annexed mediation within high courts at the family and commercial divisions across the country. Upon a successful rollout, matters referred for mediation are expected to take at most 70 days. Ibrahim Karanja, KTN News.
Thank you, Ibrahim Karanja, for that. Just a reminder of our Twitter poll question this morning. We are asking you, what is ailing our universities leading to frequent killings there? What is ailing our universities leading to frequent killings there? Tweet me directly at Ashley Mazuri or at KTN News KE. The hashtag to use is KTN News Center. Just to sample some of the feedback that I'm getting. The Nana says the killings have one thing in common. They are love-related. While Esther says all these problems that we're facing in the current generation starts from our homes. The issues of sponsorship is an old thing. That is why we had polygamous families. So our babies have become selfish, self-centered. Parenting is the center of this problem. Just to sample one more, Peter Kilonzo says immorality is killing the young generation, and there's only one best solution, that is Jesus Christ. We'll be having this conversation after these short breaks. With me in studio to my immediate left is Johnston Daniel, who is a former president at Daystar University Students Association. Next to him is Lily Mwangi, who is a vice chair at the Kenyatta University Students Association. And next to her is Dr. Geoffrey Wango, who is a psychologist and senior lecturer at the University of Nairobi. Thank you very much for joining us here on News Center. We'll be having this conversation after this short break.